Good morning, everybody. I always say that. I am not in my normal office, as you can tell by my backdrop. I am actually here in Grand Junction, Colorado today for a Club 20 board meeting. And you think we're torn up in Pagosa Springs, come to Grand Junction. We just have the highway. They have so many roads and stuff torn up here. So, CDOT is busy out and about, and Adair Christensen is here with us again today to talk about not only the Main Street reconstruction project, but again, CDOT, as we mentioned last week, you've got a few projects other than it. We know we like to think it's all about us, but this time it's not just, but we have a lot of stuff going on in and around Pagosa. Welcome back with us again this week, Adair.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk about next week's look ahead on the Pagosa project in downtown, and then also give you guys a few little tidbits about what else is going on in your area and region. So
okay, well, we talked last week about the start of getting into the utilities and potholing, and we thought we might have some bigger trenches. What are we looking at, and what's involved to get us through that process of identifying where the utilities are and that potholing process?
Yes. So it's kind of like the analogy of an iceberg, which is used a lot. But as you're driving past the work zone, you may see one crew here or there and say, this is a huge work zone. What the heck are they doing? Like, shouldn't they be working faster and doing more and having more crews? I want this project to get done. Well, the good news is we're still on track. We are not behind schedule. What you are or are not seeing out there is just the tip of the iceberg. Crews are continuing to pothole and excavate the subsurface of the road and locate those utilities underground. The main focus is the water utility. We are digging trenches, getting down to the water utility so that we can begin to build and construct new water lines. What is interesting about the potholing and utility surveying is to pothole, they're putting a lot of little holes into the surface of the road or the subsurface of the road to make sure they are finding the correct utilities and being very careful not to disrupt or damage the current utilities. The main goal is as little disruption as possible. We want to be very accurate and make sure that we are finding and locating the correct utility, whether it's a water line, geothermal, telephone, fiber optic, I could go on and on. We want to make sure we're locating the correct utility we want to replace and not damaging others along the way. So it's a very tedious process. It takes a lot of diligent work. We're using our survey maps that we've gathered. Our crews have already been out there surveying, but as you know, sometimes what shows on paper is not always what's actually there. So there is a lot of behind the scenes work, underground locating, just really making sure we have the correct utilities nailed down with the locations so we can begin replacing those. That's what's continuing next week. If you took a peek into the work zone, please don't go into the work zone, but if you look over those orange barriers, you'll see that there's a lot of road surface still to be dug out. The asphalt is gone, but what we have is our subgrade, which is that foundation to the road. So we're still excavating out that subgrade, and now we're digging trenches to get to those utilities.
So that subgrade's kind of that undercarriage of the iceberg, so to speak.
Exactly.
Got it.
And the reminder to everyone is those trenches are deep. Those potholing holes may be small, but they'll sneak up on you. That's why the work zone is closed to pedestrians, vehicles. I don't think you could fit a vehicle in there, but we're still having issues with anyone, grown-ups, kids. It's interesting when the grown-ups do it, walking through the work zone. So please stay out of it. There is signage currently to show you what streets are open, what crosswalks are open, what intersections are open. Use those open ones. Do not shortcut through the work zone. And I know we're working on better signage too, Mary
We
Jane
are.
or Mary.
Yes. Yeah, so I will do a quick follow-up on the Cone Zone meeting that happened on Monday. And thanks to all the businesses that participated in that. We got a lot of updates from a number of different groups, one of them being the town of Pagosa Springs and the signage, and certainly their cooperation with CDOT in getting new signs. So we are working on more business access signs from the CDOT standard signage, as well as from just related to this project. WW Clyde has agreed, I believe it is, to put some additional feather flag banner signage at for business access. So business community, that is coming soon. I'm not sure if crosswalks are on there, but there will also be more crosswalk signage. And so there's going to be directional parking signage, actual parking signage. So a lot of that is on the way. And we're hoping, again, that is going to come. Obviously, it will be here before the height of the tourism season, but those signs are actually in the process right now of being printed and will be coming out soon. So I know it's hard. It's that chicken and egg and what gets there first, but now that we're looking, even we were giving feedback at, can we say that there's a crosswalk ahead of us so that people will know and not jump those barriers and not try and get over, because they don't want to walk to either end of the 400 block. They want to take that mid crosswalk, and that just doesn't exist for your main and simple explanation, Adair, and that's the potholing and the excavation that's going on.
Yeah, and I am really happy. It's refreshing to see that WW Clyde, our contractor, and our communications teams we have out there, they want the public to know that the businesses are still open. They understand the construction is not pretty downtown, and it is a big inconvenience, but they are spending a lot of their workday making sure that businesses are aware of what impacts are impacting them directly, and then trying to brainstorm and problem solve with community members on what we can do to make sure the public knows that downtown is open. So it's great news. We're getting those feather signs to direct people to the business accesses. And it's great that our contractors are continuing to work with everyone in the community to make this project work for
Sure.
tourist season.
Yeah. So just a couple more updates before we move on. And that is from the Cone Zone meeting. Certainly, a number of businesses have been curious about the grant and the loan funding that is coming out. That process is moving forward. The grant and loan application process is being finalized right now. Which is good, who's going to handle which, we will certainly be looking at that, whether the county handles their grant program and the CDC handles the loan portion of that program. That is in the final stages of negotiation and determination. That will be coming out. Also, the business community will be receiving emails and surveys from both in collaboration, the Main Street program and the Chamber of Commerce, from the brainstorming ideas of what would you like to participate in, whether it's Sunday fun days, whether it's giving discounts to the construction workers and other things, whether it's we're working on a Wind Down Wednesday walk. We have a number of different ideas. What would you like to participate in? That will be coming out very soon as well. We're going to get that together and the list together and get that out so we can start planning our marketing and promotional ideas out to the community again now, as well as for the height of the business season. And that includes that kind of I Commit program, which is coming downtown and supporting our downtown businesses.
Awesome. That's great news, Mary Jo. And then I wanted to also add in that as far as direct impacts to downtown residences and businesses, the team will be performing night work in the next coming week at the 5th and 7th Street intersections.
Okay.
So the communications team we have is really great about going around to the people directly impacted and letting them know ahead of time what specific work is happening and what those impacts will be for their business or residences. But if you aren't hearing from our communications team or you aren't getting the updates from CDOT, make sure you're going to codot.gov and subscribing to our weekly construction email updates. We have a construction email update every week just for this project. So you're getting the specifics and then you're getting that contact information to speak directly with our communications team assigned and dedicated to this project.
Okay. So, Adair, CDOT has a couple more projects. So as people are traveling around the region, can you tell us what some impacts might be pretty much in every direction out of Pagosa?
Yes, if you are planning to travel next week, I just would like you to be aware of some maintenance projects as well as construction projects we have going on. Starting Monday, east or southeast of the Loma Linda subdivision on US 84, crews will be chip sealing a 5-mile segment of highway. What does that mean for you? That means add an extra 15 minutes for that chip seal work if you live out southeast of Pagosa between Chromo and the intersection of US 84 and 160. Add an extra 15 minutes for the whole week because there will be alternating traffic and delays. And then if you plan on driving from Chromo through Pagosa, you're going to want to add 30 minutes because there's 15-minute delays on the chip seal project and possibly 15-minute delays in downtown Pagosa on the reconstruct project. Also, a really good reminder about chip seals, you want to slow down. There's loose gravel on the road. Vehicles help to get that gravel stuck into the fresh layer of tar or oil, but driving fast will scatter those loose chips and crack your windshield. Drive slow and increase your distance between the vehicle in front of you. That will help avoid damage. Okay, after that, if we go a little bit farther north on US 160, Wolf Creek Pass, the Treasure Falls to the summit of Wolf Creek resurfacing project starts next Tuesday. There will be lane closures, might possibly be alternating traffic. So plan for 15-minute delays on Wolf Creek Pass. This project will continue throughout the summer into early fall. And then the Ignacio to, let's say, Chimney Rock National Monument. We are resurfacing the road and fixing culverts out there. So there are delays out there as well.
Okay, so you have us coming and going in just about every direction, but it is summer, so we know that a lot of the work just has to take place. Again, I think the important part is to look at your schedule. Don't feel like you can just grab your purse and run out the door. Plan for this and plan for some additional time on your trip. And please remember that this next week, CDOT will continue with the potholing and location of infrastructure, which we knew was going to be a huge component of this project. Probably, I'm not going to say it's the most important, but that is the part that has been that collaborative project between the town of Pagosa Springs, Pagosa Area Water and Sanitation, CDOT, WW Clyde is getting that project done while we're tearing up the road.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. And again, if you need more information, we have a specific project hotline you can call. If you're wanting to know specific impacts to your business or residents, the project hotline number for this Pagosa reconstruct is 970-335-9230. And weekdays, we can try to get you answers by the end of the day or at least make contact with you. So don't forget there is a specific project hotline for the work going on in
Okay.
Pagosa Springs.
All right. And please remember, to our business community, just because the construction project has started, kind of like with COVID, this information changes quickly. And in order to get the business is connected and projects moving forward, we need your input. The Main Street program needs your input. The chamber needs your input. We can't do this for you. We need to know and have your participation. So please, when we send out the surveys or the question, please respond to us so we know, because you know how that Jerry Maguire, help me help you. We need your input in order to move these programs forward. Adair, anything else before we head off and back into construction mode?
I'll just end it with please slow down and be patient, watch for workers and also community members along construction zones. So thank you for doing
Okay.
that, and let's have a safe week.
Absolutely. And thank you, everybody, for joining us again this week. We appreciate it. As Adair said, get out there, be careful, be observant. And once again, from the business side of the community, please give us your feedback and your input as we move forward on all these programs. Thank you again, Adair, for joining us again this week. And we will see everybody next Friday.
Okay.